Hello, I'm Ollie and this is Criminolly, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today I'm talking about travel. I'm doing the Travelling with Books tag. So this tag was created by the wonderful Gina Stania, who very kindly tagged me in her original video. So thank you, Gina. There are 6 questions plus the tag some other people question. So I'm just going to dive in and go through them. As you would expect from the title, all of these questions are around your relationship with books when you travel. So the first question is, do you read when you travel? And the answer to that is yes. I read all the time. So I most definitely read when I travel. And I really enjoy reading on like trains and planes and things like that. And I have to read every night in order to kind of settle my brain at the end of the day and get to sleep. So yeah, 100% definitely read when I travel. I also tend to wake up earlier than the rest of my family, and that's true, when we're at home or when we're travelling as well. So I will often get a bit of reading time in the morning, first thing before everyone else is up when we're away as well. Second question is, do you travel with paper books? I like to take one paper book with me when I travel. It used to be that I would, if we were going away for 2 weeks, I'd pack, kind of 7 or 8 books, which frustrated the hell out of my wife. So yeah, I used to travel with a lot of paper books. I now tend to travel with at least one, and certainly, nowadays when you fly on a plane, you can use your Kindle during takeoff and landing. But a few years ago, you couldn't. You weren't allowed to use any electronic devices as well. So if I was flying, and at that point I used to fly quite a lot for work, I would definitely always have a paperback just so I could read for that period of like kind of 15 minutes when you couldn't use a Kindle. And I didn't waste any potential reading time. So yeah, nowadays probably one paper book and the rest ebooks. And the second question, the next question, funnily enough, is do you travel with an e-reader? So yes, always take my Kindle, and my Kindle is always fully loaded, as it were. So when I get a new Kindle, I download all of the books from my library, and whenever I get a new book, I put it on the Kindle straight away. And for that reason, I deliberately have bought the larger capacity Kindle Paperwhite. So my Kindle has, I think 2,500 books on it. So I have a library with me whenever I travel, so I don't have to think about what to take with me. Next question, how many books do you pack when you travel? So I've kind of already answered that. So usually one paper book and 2,500 ebooks. Question 5, does where you go or how long you are travelling impact the amount or type of books you take? So it definitely impacts. So how long I'm going for definitely would impact the amount of books I take. So as I say, nowadays I take my Kindle, but pre-Kindle I would take what I thought was enough books to keep me going for the time I was away. I do quite often, if I'm going somewhere new that I haven't been before, I'll try and find a book about that place or set in that place. I tend to read fiction rather than non-fiction, so a book of the kind I like that's set in the area I'm going to. I think it's quite fun to read a book about the area you're in when you're away. Although, given that I tend to read crime and horror books, maybe that's not conducive to restful night's sleep on holiday. But aside from that, no, I think those are really the things about travelling that would impact the types of books I would take with me. So duration of stay and where I'm staying. Question 6, do you buy books when travelling or visit bookshops or libraries? So the answer to that is, if I can, yes. But equally, when I'm on holiday, it's about family time, and it's about doing things we wouldn't do at home. So unless there's a particularly enticing bookshop or a particular reason to visit a bookshop, I probably wouldn't. If we're travelling in the UK, I'm probably more likely to, for 2 reasons. One, because it's going to be easier to get the books home, so I don't need to think about the weight of my luggage. And secondly, because the books will be in English. So living in Europe, when we do go on holiday, we tend to go to European destinations if we're going abroad. And so the number of English language books that they'd have would be quite small. And actually, I'm probably better off buying the books at home rather than when we were away. When we were in Iceland, I did look for some Icelandic books in translation, and they were phenomenally expensive. And when I checked on on my phone, I could get any of them in the UK much cheaper, so I didn't bother buying any, which was a good job, because I don't think we would have had room in our luggage to bring them back. Okay, and the final question then is to tag some fellow travellers. So I'm going to tag MJ at Reading This Life, Crystal at Fibre Artsy, and Kelsey at Slime and Slashes. So very interested to hear all of you what you make of this tag. As always, thank you very much for watching. Do let me know if you take books away with you when you travel. I'm fairly sure you do. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on these questions. And as always, thanks very much for watching. Hope you're safe and well. Hope you're reading good stuff. And I'll speak to you again very soon. Cheerio.